I believe right now we are how many people? About 142 people that are attending this session. Yeah, I'm just saying. Now, the thing is this: if somebody asks you why you want to do law, I think there are so many reasons, but those could be crafted on a personal basis. So I recall when I was joining law school, the very first thing that thought about why I wanted to do law was because I had looked at the injustices, that were happening, the domestic violence, the voices of the vulnerable in the communities, the fact that the law can be seen as an arm of justice. If I was able to, get out of law school, I could be a voice. So those were some of the reasons, even when I recall, and I think I didn't share my experience. I recall one of my mentors, and I think later we'll talk about mentorship. Miss Judy was actually on the panel. She asked me that very question, that why law school, and I recall answering, telling her that I have chosen law school because I believe this is a pursuit of justice, and through law school I can be able to transform so many things that are around me, and I can use it as a vehicle for bringing about the change that I hope to see. So you need to see how, for now, like I said, sit down and think, why law school? And when you look at, even when you're inquiring from your friends, I know you guys are on social media, you could be having a lawyer that you admire out there in town. You could look at them and be like, why did they, take up law school? Or why are they practicing like this? Why, if you've had people who had interest in things like human rights, you've heard of those things, corporate and commercial law, the thing would be is, why then law school? So it narrows down to a personal reason, but some of the reasons generally should not come off as, say, I want to drive a Porsche car, because when you say that, really, how about a rich man who owns a couple of buildings in town that is driving a Porsche car? That means you've gone to law school just for, so see how you craft your answer that is embedded in a reason that gives you a basis for validity of why you should actually be endorsed to be the best student to join Uganda Christian University. Then I'll briefly wrap up like that. So just see how your answer rotates on an answer that is pointing to a sort of reformatory basis within a community that you're living in, or a pursuit of something beyond you, right? So it shouldn't be something, I want to get money, because if you really say that, trust me, it comes off a very, very clumsy answer. Why Uganda Christian University? For me, I've told you. I even had told those guys, I think, the panelists, that this is the best law school I have heard of. The reason why I think for me it was Uganda Christian University was, first of all, the things that Uganda Christian University stands for. The belief in God, right? A Christ-centeredness environment, the fact that also the environment there gives you an opportunity to thrive. Uganda Christian University has standards and uniqueness, but you also need to read about the university. Things like it has Christ-centeredness. It's a center of excellence, truly, that while you're there, you will definitely use your innermost abilities and expose them to the world. So Uganda Christian University was for me because of the different things that stood out, even as a law school. The fact that beginning from a dress code, how you will address yourself, how you relate with your friends, and it's generally structure as a university, and why it was established was a reason as I could give why I should join Uganda Christian University. Back to you, the speaker.
Thank you so much, Council, for the response. I believe the participant has gained and has something to say now in regards to that question, because it's a question that doesn't miss. Well, we have another question from Tumini. How is the paper set generally? Council Daniel, could you please at least give us a recap of how the paper is set? You talked about it. Thank you.
Yes, I had actually talked about it. I don't know if Tumine was on the call, but the paper, I'm not sure about what happens these days, but in my time, it had 3 sections. The first section was multiple questions, and it's like objective type, and you have to circle the right answer. The second part had I think grammatical construction, something like that. It was all English. Then the last set had an essay on current affair. Yeah, so you just need to be ready for all. And I don't know if it was Marvin or Lutaya who was saying they asked them about the smoke and the train blowing in the opposite direction. Yeah, so just aptitude test questions. You need to be abreast with those. You can just try and get samples of aptitude questions because they ask those as well. So aptitude, grammar, and essay on current affairs. But it would be good to inquire from the people who are just in first year now. Oh, going to second year, I think, on the current state of how the pre-entries are, because then they did theirs online, which is most likely what you're going to do. So their experience will be more relatable to you. But that's what I remember.
Thank you so much, Councillor Daniel. Mr. Marvin, can you please read first the next question?
Yes, Mr. Lutaya. Thank you so much, Councillor Daniela. So many are asking about the dressing and hair for both the men and ladies. I'd love to ask Mr. Ahewa to please re-echo something about dress code and maybe other hairstyle. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Peter Ahabwe, you there?
Okay, I actually had to turn on my video for that particular question. So let me tell you guys, if you're not ready to wear your tie or get a tie, please get one. If you're a gent, please get a necktie if you can, and get a jacket. Jacket, I mean a coat. And please don't wear a yellow shirt. Okay, I'm not saying this shouldn't come off as political, but there are shirts that I would prefer, or the panelists would prefer. So you could wear a white shirt. You could wear a blue shirt. So, but don't wear green. Don't wear pink. So dress code, please. Just maintain white. You guys all through the gents, you could wear a white shirt. I advise that you wear a white shirt. Please stick to that. And then ensure that your hair is kept. If you like an afro by now, I know when we're in vacation, you want to keep on your hair and look all very up there. So see how you either trim but just have it kept in case you're going to be virtual, or even if you're not going to be virtual, if you're going to meet them physically, see how you comb your hair. You look very neat and smart and very neatly dressed for the session. So about the dress code, those are the gents. Then for the ladies, I would have preferred Daniela to answer this, but I will just, in my time, and something I think I didn't talk about, I had an opportunity to serve as a leader at back at law school. So the ladies, please, you can also get a white top and a jacket, and please don't wear anything that might come off as not decent. I'm just using that language very carefully, but just see how you're smart as a lady. And then your hair, I recall in our time, the ladies were told to see how they can hold their hair in case you've plaited, or or I don't know, if you have short hair, well and good, comb it and you'll be good to go. So just that's about the dress code, and that's it. Just ensure that you are in a state that looks very professional and presentable. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. Thank you so much. I would love to read the next question. Let me see. So someone asked a question of do they only ask questions about Uganda? Councillor Daniela, can you please articulate about that?
In the general knowledge question, I want you to know that law is so much more beyond our boundaries, and it's not limited to what happens within our country. So then, as you make your research, don't limit it to what's happening now, because everything that they're going to ask you definitely has a legal connotation to it. So they might not ask you about the death of BMK, may his soul rest in peace. They might not ask you about the death of that general, because what legal value is it going to add? So every question they're going to ask you is going to be from a legal aspect, yeah? So it's just safer for you to know both nationally and internationally what's happening, and if what's happening has an impact on the legal implications of Uganda as a country, then you definitely have to be able to answer that question. But I know they're not going to set for you a very hard question. It's going to be a very easy and doable one, but just keep abreast with the news, read newspapers, basically that, yeah.
Thank you so much, Councillor Daniela. Yeah, so someone is asking a question of how would I go about essay writing questions? Can someone please talk about the essay writing bit of it? Mr. Peter, could you please guide us on? Mr. Peter? Hello.
Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So about the ESC now, wow, that's a very tricky one, because I don't know from what angle this person really wants us to help, but I'll do my best. So about SC is during my time, you had a structured SC that you had to comprehend and then give your analysis and answer. So for people who have not had a benefit, but I believe that everybody who was, you've done general paper, for people who have had an opportunity to do history and all these things, you're given really, or I don't know, you're given blocks of essays, and then you have to make an analysis. So I'll just say this. Usually when that essay is given to you, they expect you to do the following things. First of all, read it, comprehend it, right? And once you've done that, you either asked to summarize it or you're either asked to summarize it or actually make sense of give what makes sense of it. So I will advise you that if it's an essay and you're probably rewriting it or whatever, have an introduction or within which you're making analysis, have a body of that, and then make a conclusion. Yeah. So that's for the essays. But if it's generally to do with you're reading it and then summarizing it, that's very easy because you will have to take the bigger chunk, read it, and then brief it in your analysis as you're you're presenting it in your answer. So have a logical way within which you make sense of this, the so much work that you'll be given in an essay, analyze it, internalize it, then make a summary of it, and then present the summary. That's ideally what I would expect. That, because you see the essay, like I said, there can be two ways. Yeah, so you need to see how you have the knowledge. But briefly, what I need to tell you is that you need to have a very firm grip in comprehension of the problem. Because when you don't comprehend the problem, then you're not going to be giving the analysis. So first comprehend what the essay requires you to do, and then you can be able to give the answer. And the answer I've shared with you, it depends on which the examiner wants, but it's just tailored on those fundamental things that you need to see how you get the so much and then churn out the so little. Yeah, I think that's what I can say about the essays. Daniela is a writer. She's a writer and a blogger. She can give a much firmer grip onto that question.
Well, thank you so much, Council Peter, for the response about essay writing, and we shall invite Council Daniela to give us more about essay writing. Yes, she's so good at that. Well, it's very unfortunate that one of our panelists, Council Timothy Kadaga, has to go somewhere to attend to some other urgent duties. But before that, I would request him to kindly answer some few questions and give us his closing remarks.
Thank you so much. Hope everyone can hear me. I think Councillor Harwe put on his video, and we could all see how he's dressed. He was just lacking a tie. So for the Gents, you can copy a leaf from him. And mine is just a conclusion. I want to thank you all for coming here. And one of the candidates has asked me to share my life story in law school. That's very, very good. He's very, very confident. So I believe we are all sure that we're going to cross the bridge. Basically, for me, I'm so grateful that I joined Uganda Christian University, and I've become a person I am today because of law school. In law school, there's no guild president who has come from second year. Every guild president comes from their third year. So law school made me who I am. From my pre-entries, because of my confidence and because I knew I would go through, I went through to study my law school, and now I went ahead to aspire as a leader, and I became a guild president for Uganda Christian University, and it has been the most amazing time that you get to learn. So to all of us there, once you join, the law society actually grooms leaders, and I believe you can all benefit from something like this. The law school is actually easy. It just needs you to focus and budget your time appropriately. Actually, what we've been doing in high school is something we are doing in campus. Just that now, this time, you're free to move anywhere and you're not contained in a particular place. So embrace yourselves. You're all going to pass. Whatever is going to be asked, you know it. And as Daniela has stated, that law is not only in Uganda. Law is worldwide. So anticipate and expect anything from anywhere, because that's what the law. So we all dream for a country that's governed by rule of law. And that's one thing that motivated me to do law, because as a leader, I believe that if every leader guides and serves the people according to the rule of law, then definitely there will be limited chaos in a country like Uganda. So I encourage all of us to dream big and aspire, don't give up. And pre-entries are the easiest things. It's just a mindset that limits us. But after that, you will see that everything is going to move the way you want. Put God first, and may God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Council Timothy Kadaga Chivonike. I pray that God protect you. Thank you so much for the time that you've spared to speak to our friends that are intending to join Ucu Law School. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Then about someone has a question. Adong Judith. She's saying that hey, I just wanted to inquire, like some of us who applied. Okay, this is about emails, but there's someone that we anticipate that will be in position to answer more in regards to emails. Director admissions will join us soon. So let me go to the next question. Great appreciation to the host and counsels to the pre-entry talk. My question is, at what time will the ORs be conducted? Again, that one, someone more appropriate will answer that question. Then how do I'm still seeing a question about essay writing. How would I go about essay writing? And Council Peter requested Council Daniel to elaborate more on that. Council Daniel, please do us a favor. You're a writer, and please do us a favor and elaborate more on this question about essay writing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Godfrey. And thank you, Peter, for the introduction and how to write an essay. I think just what I can add to what Peter mentioned was that you need to know that an essay has three parts. It has an introduction, it has the main body, and it has a conclusion. So for the introduction, let's say we're talking about, let me just get a sample question of probably, if they ask you what has been the impact of COVID-19 in the education sector, something like that. So your introduction has to be a catchy introduction, yes? Because your introduction will determine whether someone will be interested in reading your essay or not. So mostly, I usually like starting my introductions with quotes or something from great writers or philosophers, but then you won't have time to get those quotes in your essay. So your introduction for a question like that will basically probably be, for the past 3 years, there have been an upsurge of deaths and probably, let's say, deaths and diagnosis of the COVID-19. And we have noted that it's been noted that over 60% of schools worldwide have switched to the online, arena. So with this, it's important to note the impact that this has had, especially in middle income countries like Uganda. So an introduction like that is catchy because you're looking at statistics, you're mentioning what you're going to talk about, and that's COVID-19. You're basically introducing the reader to what's going to be in your essay. Yeah, so you have to be very ingenious with how you introduce, because an interesting essay will probably give you full marks as compared to an essay that's just done as for. So your body will now then tackle the major question. And for the question I've given, probably now you'd look at how, let's say, 20% or 15% of the schools are in remote areas, and the telecommunication industry does not give favorable internet services or network connections to such communities. So it's very difficult. And you note that over, thousands of children have been in the same class for over 2 years, yeah, because they're not studying. So your body basically tackles the gist of the question. Then your conclusion has to also be ingenious, yeah, and also captivating. So your conclusion has to include what your final thoughts are and probably give your stance, yeah, and give a brief summary of what you've mentioned above. Yes. So I think that's pretty much what you need to know about essay writing. But what also I must emphasize is, do not dissociate yourself and your opinions from what you are writing. And by this, I mean, with whatever point you're giving, make sure it's an original thought that you have had as a person. because then law is going to teach you how to be able to analyze situations and to give opinions of the same, yes? So if you're going to be a lawyer, you need to be able to articulate your position, despite the fact that it may not be an agreeable position, but if you're convincing and if you're persuasive, then your position can actually be adopted, yes? So just make sure you inoculate yourself as much as you can into what you're writing so that it's not a blank essay. Yeah, I think that's what I can say about it.
Thank you so much, Miss Daniela. Someone is asking if they will ask about current affairs. Mr. Peter, can you please guide us? Hello. Yes,
Okay.
please.
So somebody asked about, I hope I'm being heard. Somebody asked if they're going to ask current affairs. Is it?
Yes, please.
Was that the question?
Current affairs.
That was the question, right? I'm trying to make sense of the question so that
was,
I can answer it. Yeah.
Will they ask about current affairs?
All right. So let me tell you, most definitely, you guys we're in a pandemic, right? And you guys have had an opportunity to do all this through challenging times. So, like I said, be an all-round person, right? Let me give you an example. And just came to me right now. During my time in 2014, when I was going for my pre-entries, when I walked in that room, they asked me what is your hobby, and I like reading. I like reading books and things like that. But I told him I like reading. So the gentleman who was on the panel looks at me and says, "Okay, so if you like reading, what was today's headline in the newspapers?" And I recall that's the time I think Honorable Kutesa, the former honorable, had been appointed as a UN, I think, president to represent Uganda on the UN as a UN president. And so sorry about that. I'm receiving phone calls. But just briefly, sorry about that. I hope I'm still being heard, Marvin.
Yes, please, you can be heard.
Yes. So I was saying, on my way, they asked me that question. And when they asked me that particular question, if it had not occurred to me that on my way to Mukono, I had read, and I think the previous night I'd been trying to read newspapers and making sense of what's happening in the country. If I had not read that headline on the Daily Monitor, I would not have gotten the answer, right? But because I had been very keen and interested in things that are happening in the country, I ably told them that it was Honorable Kutesa. So current affairs, definitely they will have to ask you a question on to see how you acquaint yourself with presently. I think Kanani ably told you that you're in a pandemic. They could ask you what are they injecting globally, the vaccine, AstraZeneca. You need to know the name of that vaccine. I don't know. You need to know, I don't know, any kind of thing. You need to know things about, I don't know. They could ask you what's the transformative term to use as a locking down of countries. Those are what? Lockdown phrases, third wave and second wave. So you need to have knowledge about that because you see, you're a lawyer and that's what they are testing you about. The other thing that you need to know still about current affairs, you need to know things about governance, because you're going to be a lawyer. You need to know what's happening in the realm of the judiciary, the law sector, right? Who could be the current president of I don't know, the Uganda Law Society, or who is our Chief Justice, or I don't know. right? So current affairs, please acquaint yourself. Like I started in my discussion, I said, please be very intentional on being an all-round person. Don't stick to the law. You could enter in and somebody asks you, I don't know, who is the latest president they have ousted in a coup, you know, and you don't know, but you live in Africa and there's a country that experienced a coup. So like we said, please be an all-round. So current affairs, expect it as the way they can ask you about your former school. Yes, that's what I can say.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. I hope the one who asked that question was well answered. So someone has asked an interesting question, and the question goes, if there will be a numerical question in the papers they're going to do, I'm requesting Miss Daniela to please guide us upon that.
I don't understand the question.
Someone asked if there will be a numerical question. Mathematics, yeah.
I did the pre-entry, let me see. Close to now 5 or 6 years ago. So every year I think it's different. Every year is different. I don't think in ours there was, but I can't definitely say that it's not there. So that's why I referred you to people who are in their first year now, who are transitioning to their second year, because those are the most recent people who did pre-entries in the same circumstance that you might do pre-entries. So you need to ask them if there's a numeric section. Yeah. So I can't definitely say there's none.
Thank you, Miss Daniela. I hope the person who asked that question has been answered. So you can never know what they're going to ask you about. All you need is to be prepared with each and everything. Many are asking about dress code. That was addressed. All you can do is get something official, something to do with office clothing. For men, you could do a suit. Ladies, you could do also a suit if you have one. If you don't have one, you could do an office shirt, a white one probably, and maybe black pants or a skirt. Yeah, Mr. Lutaya, could you please take on from here?
Well, thank you, Marvin. Let me try to look at the questions. There's someone, an anonymous attendee, is asking, how exceptional is UCU from other universities that offer law? Wow. How exceptional is UCU from other universities that offer law? Council Peter, you had a lot of interest in joining UCU Law School, and even after you still maintain the same ground that UCU is the best law school. Could you kindly please answer this student who's intending to do law as to why UCU is the best student, the best university? Thank you.
So, guys, a lot has been asked about dress code. I had to go and get a tie, yeah, so that we can know that we are in for a serious business, right? Now, this is how formally you can try and appear. if you're there and you're able to see me, I would encourage you that you try that day, you try and appear like I am. I know that there are people who will definitely be smarter. Why Uganda Christian University? Number one, I'm a believer in God, right? And I hold God the very first thing before any other thing happens in my life. So God has been an integral and is a central piece. So Uganda Christian University has a Christ-centeredness. And it had a tagline, I recall when we were going, that which still exists. The tagline was a center of excellence in the heart of Africa. And to know that I actually love my university so much, I think it's something I have. Yeah, it's actually here. And I'll be very practical. This is something I received on my graduation, right? But what, 2-3 years ago? Yeah. Now, if you could read with me, that is Uganda Christian University, a center of excellence in the heart of Africa, right? Now, why UCU Law School? First of all, UCU Law School is unique because President Liz will tell you that there is no other law school apart from our law school that runs a mentorship program. And that is creating a home away from home that you will be able to commune with your colleagues in this 4-year journey. But two, there is a very serene environment within which you can actually take on your studies. The other thing that makes UCU Law School very unique is that there's a culture, a very, very inbuilt, integral culture that is going to enable you that by the time you finish your 4 years, you're that very unique lawyer prepared to stand out. So I would like to encourage you and believe you with me that you're also going to receive attention from your lecturers, from your peers, even your colleagues. And the other thing that definitely will make you stand out is the fact that at law school, at UCU Law School, they have that reach out. Yes, they have a reach out of where you will be encouraged to chat with a colleague, to inquire from a PA, a lecturer. So Uganda Christian University, and mainly why the law school, is because you're going to receive value for what you have actually gone there for. You're going to receive an environment that you're not going to get anywhere. And the uniqueness, that, like I said, the culture there, the people there are very intentional to see you succeed. Yes. And they ensure that they reach out, they look for you, and they ground you, right, into a very dignified and very unique and distinctive lawyer that you can be. So they're going to mold you. And please, I say this in the love of the university that I have, but also in the belief that once you have joined, you make your personal effort to see how you also succeed. So Uganda Christian University, I can say a lot if I was to talk about it. But for me, I think it's an environment that enables you thrive. And the way you have joined, the way you will join it for the start is not definitely the way you will get out. Yes, there's so many opportunities that you're going to attain. And I'm very, very certain that you will have to appreciate why you actually went to Uganda Christian University. So for some of those reasons, I feel I was here and there for my answer. But what I want to tell you is you're going to receive a wholesome nurturing from Uganda Christian University. I think Daniela, who has been very excellent in a couple of things in the time I left her there, she can answer and add more to that.
Thank you so much, Council Peter. Indeed, you look smart with that tie in the coat. You really look smart, Council. And I think that is a very practical example for everyone that is preparing to join UCU Law School. If you look like that during your DOV pre-entries, I'm sure you won't fail to make it. Another question, let's look at another question. Does UCU offer scholarships for law? Well, Council Canan, Daniela, can you say something about that? Does UC offer scholarships for law?
I'm not sure about the scholarships, but then there's a whole section about getting aid from the alumni office. So I think they can give you part, but not full, but it also depends. I'm not well versed with that. Probably if you're to go to the information desk after your pre-entry, they can give you more information about that. Yeah, so I can't answer that.
Thank you, Council Daniel. Maybe to elaborate more, when it comes to, we have, at UC, we have what we call the Financial Aids Office. And at the Financial Aids Office, that's where you go in case of a tuition problem and you're approaching examination period. They don't necessarily give you a scholarship, but there is a way they work hand in hand with your parents to make sure that you can sit for exams, and later on, they get the money from the parents at a later date when you've already sat your exams, because it's always very perturbing. You can't go ahead to sit for the exams when you've not cleared, but that office is there to help. Even during graduation, lately, so many students have been facing issues with tuition, but the office was there. It's given money and it helps out to make sure that everyone graduates. So as you graduate, everything's being worked upon, but they engage your parents later on to clear the money, but not necessarily that we have that UC is offering a scholarship or scholarships for those students. Thank you. Let's look at other questions. Well, someone called Martha saying, good afternoon, panelists. I'm so much immersed in doing law. I've been reading all this time, but yesterday evening I received a blank email. What should I do? Tried contacting them, no response. Some help, please. I'm about to cry. Oh, please don't cry. We are waiting for the director admissions. She had promised to join us and she would be the appropriate person to elaborate more on emails, but we shall get back to you, Martha, so don't get worried. Namaganda Tracy is asking, I wanted to inquire, like I didn't write my email on the app. Well, so many questions about emails. Then Akeza, the only thing I've dreamt about all my life is doing law. And yes, I know this is about pre-entries, but I would really love to be given an insight in the School of Law, particularly UCU. What is UCU Law School like? Well, I think Council Canan and Council Peter, I have what they have elaborated more on that. Then how long is the oral and written exams respectively? How long is the oral and written exams respectively? Council Canan, please tell us how long was yours? Well, if you don't mind, please share with us.
Again, I feel like my situation and my time is very different from what you're going to do. And I have a strong feeling you might do your pre-entries online. So I don't want to tell you what happened in my time, because last year I was told stories of how they had to submit their papers online and they were given, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour. So it's probably if the Law Society can do some consultations with people who did pre-entry last year, it will be more applicable to their situation.
Thank you, Canan, and I think you're indeed right, because so many things have changed right now. Thank you so much, Council Canan, for that response. Then, what is the duration for the oral paper and the written paper? For clarification, please, is it a must for boys to appear in a court for the oral examination? Wow. Council Peter elaborated more on that. I don't know whether we should have a recap? Or Council Peter, would you mind giving us a recap? Someone's asking whether it's a must.
All right. So, guys, I began my session by telling you that if you want to do law, right, and you've attended this session, if you're to forget, there's so many things we're definitely going to share. Don't forget this. Be very purposeful. Be very intentional from day one, right? And that lady who said she's been sending emails, she's been reading, it's like I could see her right now. Why? Because I feel she wants to do this. So when somebody is asking a question, is it mandatory for gents to wear jackets? If you've looked at the dress code for the lawyers, if you've maybe attended a court session or even seen someone walk around and they told you that they are a lawyer, sorry, trust me, they look presentable. So for this D-Day, like Daniela said, and I think I did my pre-entry in 2014. These are how many years, right? So trust me, times could have changed and you're going to do this virtually, right? So create an environment where if you're back at home, if you're, I don't know, please make sure that day you're not in a market. That day you're not, I don't know, running an errand somewhere. And sit somewhere, ensure that you have very good connection, right? Connectivity with your network. You're very presentable. You're in clothed up in very presentable clothing, and then you make your presentation. So, gents, I will be very emphatic. For you to score a mark in orals, because they mark your presentation, they need to see how you appear, right? So you don't come in a t-shirt, because then you would have applied for BBA if you wanted to do that. But you want to be a lawyer. Now, a lawyer is presentable, right? So I implore you, I am kindly requesting you, I implore you, and if you can, please grab a suit. If you can, buy yourself a suit. If you can't, get a jacket and see anything that matches up to the occasion. And be very ready to ensure that you scoop a mark on your dress code and also your presentation.
Thank you so much, Council. Mr. Marvin, can you please proceed and read for us some other questions for the panelists?
Thank you, Mr. Lutaya. So someone asked an interesting question in the chat, and the question goes, is it a guarantee that when you become a lawyer, you automatically drive a Porsche car? Wow. Daniela, can you please elaborate on that?
That's a very interesting question, because I feel like now you should be focusing on getting into the profession and then worrying about that later. So I don't know if I should answer that but it's not automatic, you know. Everyone has their different stories. Everyone has their I like telling my friends that your cup of tea might not be my cup of tea. The number of spoons of sugar I put might be dependent on my privilege and my ability to afford sugar, you know, to put like 6 spoons. So to each man his own, you know, cup of tea. So it's not a must, but if God wills that you will drive a Porsche car, and that's, you know, that would be your story. Yeah. So everyone has a different story, and you shouldn't be worrying about that. Probably if I'm to just emphasize, because I've informed the president, but I think she hasn't seen, I have to leave by 6. So I just want to emphasize as my parting shots that if you're not doing law because you want to do it, then I think you should rethink doing it. And the problem that most people face in law school is struggling to love, because if you're to meet, probably when you get into UC, you'll meet lawyers in higher years who keep lamenting about how hard law is and how much work it is. There are those students who are always complaining. But trust me, if you're doing law because you personally love it and have the passion for it, you won't complain, because then again, it's what you wanted to do. So this is just a clarion call. If you know that you're doing law because you have been forced or because your parents have told you to do it, I advise you not to, because that will just be digging your own grave. Law school is heavy, and if you have the passion for it, then you'll definitely excel at it. So use this time to just reflect and do introspection on, especially as you answer that question of why am I doing law? Use this time to create your dream as a lawyer. Use this time to set the bar and set the standard for what you want to achieve as a lawyer in the next 5 or 10 years, and then now work backwards towards it. And I'll just re-emphasize again that you passing law school is a sum total of different activities that starts with the day that you go for the interview. So if you go late for the interview, just know that's how your law school life is going to be. You're going to always be late for classes. You're going to always be disorganized, because when you're late, you're disorganized. You keep asking, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? No. If you know you have an interview, go 20 minutes before or 30 minutes before. Get comfortable with the environment. Get to know the people around, the administrators. Interact with, the law society members that will be there. And just pace yourself. Yes. So I just wanted to emphasize that before I log out of the meeting. But all the best. Everything is possible. Shoot for the reach for the stars, so that even if you're to fall, reach for the heaven. I don't know. There's this quote that one of my professors used to like so much. Yeah. So that if you're to fall, you fall amongst the stars. So just do your best, and then let God do the rest for you.
Thank you so much, Council Daniela. That was quite impressive. Many of you have been asking about dress codes. I think if you can look at how she's dressed on her display picture, I think it kind of gives you a picture of how you might appear. She's in a coat, and yeah, a top. So without wasting time, I would love to go to the closing remarks. And at this time, I would love to invite the president, UCU Kampala campus, Mr. Dominic.
Excuse me, Marvin.
Please.
Council Marvin.
Yes, please.
I would we've been joined by the director admissions. However, I would request that we be guided like this. Going to have another question that should be addressed to Council Peter Aheva, who will be also giving us his closing remarks. Then from there, we shall have the director admissions, because she has just joined us and she has so many issues to answer in regards to emails. People have so many questions in regards to emails. So we have director admissions, and so she would be coming in to say something about the emails. But for now, let's first get one question, give it to Council Peter Aheva to also give us his concluding remarks before we invite the director admissions, and then Council Dominic, President, UC Law Society, Kampala campus will come in. Thank you.
Let me see from our question list. Let me take the last question that has been asked by Mr. Nwaz. It goes, how marketable is law after graduation? Mr. Peter, can you please guide us as you also give us your closing remarks.
Interesting. I think you guys are very visionary. Very visionary. In my time, how do I go through law school? How do I actually even make it to the best law school, like I've told you guys? So somebody is asking, is the law marketable? This is what I'm going to tell you. Throughout your 4 years, you're definitely going to realize that by the end of your 4 years, your degree you could use it for anything, right? You could get out and be that distinguished attorney practicing the law. If you want to ensure that you practice, that's what I will say. The other thing is that you could join the academia, right? For those of you who would like to, at the end of your 4 years, very much interested to teach, you could use your law degree to ensure that you pass on the knowledge that you will have acquired after the 4 years. Then the other thing is marketable. Truly, I'm just giving some of the examples. So the law degree is really marketable. It just depends on what you choose to use it for. And but for now, you can make effort to indulge yourself into that quest after maybe 3rd year or 4th year. I'm not deterring you from being visionary, but I'm imploring you to now focus on this pre-entry. And then once you've got into the best law school, definitely you will start thinking on what you can use your law degree thereafter. Some of my friends that I left in 2018 with are doing a couple of things. Others have, gone on to work in organizations as lawyers for organizations. Others are practicing in law firms. Others are, it's enormous. Others are lecturing. So you could use your law degree for anything. So, but for now, presently, please focus your energies on how you can get in. I think my parting shots for this session, I want to take in a special way to thank President Liz, Elizabeth, together with your entire team for organizing this and continuously ensuring that people receive a service beyond, even as far as they can be. I'm thinking somebody is in, I don't know, their home district or wherever, anywhere they could be, and they're listening in. So we'd like to thank you as a team. And my parting shots to the candidates and the hopeful members of the UCU fraternity. Number one, trust in the Lord, right? And I don't say this as a cliche. Believe that everything centrally will work out if you can focus your energies and everything, your thoughts, plans, even now your energy in trusting the Lord. That is the only way you're definitely going to pass this pre-entry. If you think that you're a very good orator, you are good at writing essays, and you think you're going to make it on your own, I am sorry, I have to tell you that you might not make it. So please trust the Lord and have confidence that the Lord will enable you. The other thing, be very intentional, like I said, be very inquisitive. Please don't stop asking. These people here have social media handles. They are on, I don't know, they have telephone numbers. They are on Twitter. They are on Facebook. Be intentional. I recall reaching out to the president then, who was the president, and asking him, Mr. Ivan Ojokol is now a very good lawyer in the tech space, and asking him, I texted him on Facebook. He sent me his number. I reached out. So be very intentional. Use this time to be very intentional and develop your knowledge on things that you, like I said, be inquisitive, develop your knowledge on things that you might not have known or you don't know presently, and then believe in yourself. Like I told you, there can never be any other time. So use this opportunity that the God has given you to advance your innermost abilities, to ensure that the stage and opportunity that UCU has accorded you, you use it to your ability. So thank you very much, and I would like to also thank you, the director who has just joined us. She was very, very kind during our time at law school, and I want to thank her for taking time off to also be part of this meeting. I also want to thank the president, Kampala Campus, Dominic, for your good work. So thank you very much, and may the Lord God richly bless you, and I wish you excellence even as you take on this journey. May God bless you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much, Council Peter. We are much obliged for joining us today, and the time that you've shared with us, really, I'm sure that it's going to add an impact on the students that are intending to join Ucu Law School. Well, from this point, allow me to welcome Madam Krista Oluka, Director Admissions and Students Records. Madam Krista is the one that is in charge of your admission and the entire admission process. So in regards to the questions that you've been posing, emails and so on and so forth, she's the right person to answer that. Madam Krista, you're most welcome. Council Norman, could you please unmute her? Yes. Council Norman, please help me unmute Madam Krista. Well, we are so sorry for that inconvenience. Council Norman, can you please help me unmute Madam Krista, Director Admissions? She has just sent a message in the chat. We are extremely sorry for that inconvenience. We're working on it. I'm sure the UC Law Society host is working on it. Council Norman, please help us unmute Madam Krista. We are taking long, please. Please forgive us for that technical glitch. We are working on it. Well, as we are working on it, kindly allow me to invite Mr. Dominic to say a few words, we shall invite Madam Krista later as we are working on that technical glitch. Apologies, please forgive us. Council Dominic, President, Kampala Campus, Ucu Law Society. I think the host, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Well, the issue of pre-entry is really an issue that usually quivers a lot of the vacists or students who really want to join the institution. I think first and foremost, I would like to give my experience as an individual, because I had a lot of fear to the extent that I was the third person to apply at UCU for law at my time, because I was really scared and I really wanted to get into the institution. It was either UCU or UCU for me back then. And I recall vividly, it was one morning I left home at 6 and I was in Mukono by 7, waiting for the pre-entries. The oral exam took, my oral was 30 minutes. I know it's really funny, but it took me 30 minutes with my orals. And I got very interesting questions as well, though I replied to them. And also I had the essay writing, which was an hour back then. Then, of course, the general paper, general knowledge or current affairs. And that's how it went. And at the end of the day, I was successful. That's the first step. Then the second step is now doing the pre-entry itself. Yeah, as you proceed. And I don't know. Okay, I was sorry. I was reading some of the chats just to keep our insight. And someone's asking for my contact. Don't worry, I will send my contact as we proceed. However, I don't, Mr. If no formal school, okay. Kindly, Ebaju, they've sent the email already. If you could scroll up, Madam Krista sent an email. I'll also avail mine as time comes in. Mr. Speaker, just as an insight, as Mr. Norman gone ahead yet? No, not yet, but Madam President had sent a link, her host link to Madam Krista to her email. Okay, that's fine. Okay, then yourself. Okay, that's good. Well, maybe just to seek clarity to you all. Well, the Law Society is actually here for you, and that's why we organize this as the Law Society. The president herself, Madam Liz Tumewaza, a very good friend of mine, as I'm also with her, though I'm the president at Kampala chapter. We do a lot of things as well. And our major interest is the welfare of the law students. So as you are all coming in to become lawyers or become law students, we are here to give you all the kind of assistance you need. And that's why we have taken in the verge of all the steps and this major step that you have taken so far. That's why we're having you here, and we're trying to guide you and see a way in which we can help you. Also, as you move, as time comes in, we shall have time with you to the successful candidates. Hopefully, I'm sure UCU has a lot of space. We could actually have all of you, but we have to receive the best of the best, because as you know, we have a reputation to hold. Mr. UCU is the best university. I don't think if I was in UCU,
if I didn't want to be in UCU, I'd be here, because I'm also sure UCU is the best in the course, and also other courses as well. It's the best, and it gives us the best education that it can offer in all ways possible. So we are here to hold your hands and assist you in all ways possible. As time comes in, of course, when you're done with this, you have other things that we can come and discuss about. For example, one of the things that comes in is the fees that you pay. Yeah, with the Law Society, we usually get a fee of about 50,000 from you, the law students, which comes in your year one. As we proceed, that's the only money you pay, don't try. And there's accountability for that is always given. It assists with the welfare of the students as well. So it is something that will come up as we move. However, I got a very interesting question that piqued my mind, of someone asking about what would happen if you ask a question and you don't have a reply. Let's say you're not sure of the answer, you're not sure, or you don't know what to say. I'll give you a very interesting experience of mine. One of the questions I was asked by, actually this was by Peter himself, as I was running for the position of presidency. He asked me a question that I knew the answer, but I couldn't answer it. He asked me who the current president of Tanzania is. Yes, please.
I'm so sorry. Opinions. I'm requesting whether Madam Krista has received an email.
Yes, please, let's
see whether she can log. Yeah, as a host.
I don't know. Let me see from the replies.
But the president has just told me that she has sent her an email, and we want to see whether it can work if she uses Madam President's email to join.
Okay, I think let us share the link so that we can have her here with us.
Okay, let's wait and see, because she has sent her email. Let's wait and see.
Okay, let's wait for that as we conclude with the session. So I was telling you about an instance when I was asked about the president of Tanzania, and I was replying that it's a lady. I'm trying to recall the name, but I failed. Of course, it is Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan currently, but some of these things happen. You might have an answer within your head, but you can't reply. So I think one of the ways you can tackle this is you'll say, I know the person, but I have failed to recall the name of the individual. But I know probably you know the person from this or that, from the media or from the newspapers, or from the country. Yeah. And also I want to give you instances from my experience. One of them also was in my pre-entry time, my orals. I was also asked the question of whether what do I know about the North and South Korea incident. Back then, that was something that was hitting, and I was not really well versed with it. And my reply was, please, I'm not going to. The reply that I gave the panel was, kindly, I have not really addressed my mind to that, not because I'm ignorant, but because I did not really put my mind to test. I would like to ask the panelists, in case you can give me any insights to satisfy that question. That is something I say. I'm just saying you don't have to be ignorant, but you can also ask the panelists for their knowledge on the question they're asking you, in case you're not aware. So that's also something else that you can do. Yes. Then also the rest is, I think the main question is dress code, orals, how is it going to be? Trust me, you can even be asked in 2 minutes, because we have friends who have been asked, what do you want to do? Why do you want to become a lawyer? And after them replying, they're done with the orals. It happens. So be ready for anything. Current affairs, have current affairs within you. Be ready for anything on current affairs. Have history. Know your history, most especially in regards to the law. And then I might disagree with what Miss Daniela said a bit, because she said that they will only ask you something in regards to legal. Yes, but also you have to put your brain to test, because in law school, they really test your vast knowledge. Because to be a lawyer, you must be well informed. So it may not be a legal something, or it may not be a legal terminology, or an issue of legal, but it may just be them asking you to see if you're informed about the current affairs of the world. We are not really inclined to the country alone, but also we are inclined to move outside the world. So as a lawyer or as a law student, you have to be ready to be well informed. So keep informed. Don't disregard anything. Know your sports, know the health, know the law, the legal. Yes. Fashion, just know anything, whether it is politics, whether it is doctors, one of the things I have to say, lawyers informed. You have to be informed. And also as a lawyer, and in every instance in our lives, there is something legal about it. Construction of a house, it's legal. There's something legal about it. Yeah. They talked about North and South Korea. That is interconflicts, isn't it? So that there's conflict, and that means that there's a lawyer behind it in the background. So in everything you do, law has interest in it. Even the doctors need a lawyer in case they kill someone, or in case the medication goes wrong. You need a lawyer to defend you. So don't put your mind at risk, and take your mind into test, put it to test, and be ready for anything. Other than that, I'm really grateful to have you all. I'm also going to share my email. I don't want to speak a lot. In case you need me, or in case you want to reach me, I'll share my contact, and we can be of help at any moment and at any time. And in case of any questions, shortly, if there is, or if the speaker has any that he wants to throw towards me, I would be happy to abide. Thank you very much. As we wait for Madam Krista and Mr. Speaker, please, you can also take us on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Council Dominic, President Kampala Campus, UCU Law Society. We are having a technical glitch. We wanted to have the director admissions, but we are failing to unmute her. So that's the issue that we're having right now. We're trying to do our very best to make sure that she can at least respond in response to the emails. However, she has put up her email in the chat room, and she has requested us that in case of anything, you can send her an email and she will give you feedback, especially I'm so sorry.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. There's something as if we're trying to.
No, I'm of the.
Yes.
Yes, I'm of the view. Because it seems like we're being constrained by the technical glitches. I'm of the view that maybe we could share, as you have shared the email of Madam Krista, and also where need be, we could also be of assistance. And in case this fails, we can also proceed and assist the students on where possible as a backup plan. I'm just saying. Thank you.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, Mr. President. And we're going to go with that until when we get feedback or response from her. Well, in regards to the experience, so many panelists have elaborated more in regards to experience, and students that are having issues with the email, just be rest assured that we are going to work on the UCU Law Society of Kampala Campus, UCU Law Society of Mukono Campus are here to guide you. We are not going to let you down. We have the Academic Secretary's Department, and if you applied, you sent your email, trust me that you receive an email, you receive the link for doing the pre-entries. So that one, be rest assured. So in regards to pre-entries and how best you can prepare, I think there are so many issues. Right now, you've seen refugees from Afghanistan have been brought into Uganda and they are staying in a certain hotel. Now, I believe that you should be knowing that hotel. There's a richest man in Uganda that passed on lately. He owns so many hotels, and at least you should be acquitted with that one. Then you can look at more special questions to do with UCU. They can ask you when did UCU begin operating in Uganda, and what do you know about UCU apart from coming to apply for the law school? You know, some of those questions. And when I was giving the introduction, I said that UCU began as a Bishop Tucker College School way back in 1913 to 19 until when by that time it was just training the clergy, people that are dealing in the region and so on and so forth only. And if you've ever been at UCU physically, I'm sure you must have seen that old building if you're using the small gate. Now, in 1997, as you see it on the main gate, that's when it started operating. And in 2004, that's when it was given a charter by the government. So at least you should be knowing some of those basic few things. You know, if you've been a leader in your high school, at least they can ask you, have you ever been a leader? What was the impact? Personally, they asked me the impact I intended to create or to add on UCU. And I told them that I will be a leader and I'll do this and that. And I think I've fulfilled my ambition or the promise that I made. Then we can also look at, you know, like the answer. People, one thing that I must caution you, there is a reason why Council Peter Ahewa had to put on a tie and a coat when he was addressing you. In UCU or in anywhere, in our noble profession, that's why we are called the land friends. It's because of the way we do our things. So the dress code matters. Dress code matters. Please make it a point to dress well that particular day when you're supposed to appear. So many previous speakers have emphasized the dress code. Please take note of that. It really matters a lot. I think maybe there's one thing I need to tell you. The issue of the points that you got in your A level. Now, this is it has an issue because doesn't matter whether you got 20 points, doesn't matter whether you got 19 points, doesn't matter whether you got 15, 12, 13, 16. What matters is the way you appear. During my time, I was preparing with a friend of mine from a certain big school, which I won't mention, and that friend had 19 points. She's a lady. She had 19 points, and she didn't want to go to any other institution apart from UCU Law School. And when she was preparing, she had 19 points out of 20. She was set. But I think one of the reasons why she didn't go through and she didn't make it through is because of the fact that, you know, I got good points. So I have to. Yes, so the points, please put aside your points and do what you're supposed to do. Be humble, be in position to respond like the previous speakers have said. Back to you, Councillor Dominic.
Mr. Luther, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Councillor.
Yeah, so I don't really know if Madam Krista is coming in. Basically, like we noticed she shared again in the group, and I believe we have WhatsApp groups that were created for all the applicants. Yeah. So if maybe Madam Krista does not come in here to talk to you, I guess each and everything will be handled in those groups, because we are here to help you guys.
Well,
You should not worry about the emails and each and everything. You are going to receive your email in time, and yeah, you'll have without any issues. I don't know, but we're running out of time. You to guide us.
yes, Council Marvin, you're right. We're running out of time and we failed to get in touch with Madam Krista. But please, friends, I'm requesting you to be rest assured that all your issues are going to be worked upon. We've shared the emails, and we are also part, or we're in that group that was created to help you, to guide you out. And in case we get in touch with Madam Krista, or in case of any information from her, because we can reach out to her, we shall definitely give you the feedback in regards to that. Well, Council Marvin, I think, is Council Dominic on?
Yes, I'm on.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm suggesting maybe we conclude this session. I don't know whether the academic secretary main campus is on the call. Mr. Brian, are you on the call?
It seems not, the way I see it.
Okay, since it's not on the call, let's try to yes, it's on the call. It's on the call.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Can you please unmute and say something?
It seems like the host has to unmute him again.
It is unfortunate that we can't hear from Mr. Bragg, but you can please leave your number share your number and email in the chat room so that our students can reach out to you. Mr. Marvin, I'm also requesting you to do the same. All the leaders here, please share your emails, share your numbers so that these students can reach out to you. We are very coordinated.
Never forget to pray. Once you wake up, please, tomorrow, pray. Every day, pray. To be of help to you, to give you more confidence as well. Other than that, I'm glad that you gave us this opportunity as well and listen to us. I wouldn't like to continue anymore, but other than that, I would like to close this meeting, maybe with a prayer. Okay, let me lead the prayer. I wouldn't. Brian is here. Let Brian speak, and then he can give us a closing prayer. Please, Mr. Brian, please.
But I would love to inform most of the applicants that the emails are going to be received latest by tomorrow. We have a technical standout team that we have organized, and it is going to help and make sure everybody gets his or her email by tomorrow, regardless of whether you have applied today or what. Then I would also love to encourage all other applicants, if you know of anyone intending to apply or to do law, application is still open from now till Wednesday. This came in as a technical skill. You know that most of the people from Law Development Center and those having a diploma, those who graduated with a diploma, there has been a delay for LDC to produce their results. Now, as Uganda Christian University, we understand that most of you would love to join and be part of this great institution. So we've decided to extend the application till Wednesday because some people reached out and informed us that their provisional results have been promised by LDC latest Monday. And so we expect that most of the people will have their results by Monday, and still we are calling in for more applications. Then for those that will be having any other technical challenge, let it be your email is not working or you are having any challenge from anywhere, you can reach out to Mhereza Brian, the academic secretary. Me, myself speaking to you, you can reach out to Msitwa Marvin, academic secretary, Kampala campus. You can also reach out to Regan. He has been so vibrant in these groups and basically working with the admissions office. Then also you can reach out to Angie Sarah, who is the deputy academic secretary, Kampala campus. I believe we have had a nice kind of talk, and I really want to appreciate the speakers and panelists who have been here today, and they have engaged the different people. It has been insightful, and as the academic secretary, I really accredit it, and I believe and wish you all the best. As the Law Society, we are working towards serving you as our people because we took an oath to serve, and I would love to appreciate my speaker, Mr. Lutaya, together with the academic secretary, Kampala campus, for doing a recommendable job. I'd also love to appreciate my president, who has put in efforts, and the president of Kampala chapter, Dominic. They have all done a great job, and we believe by the end of this whole process, we shall all be in law school. I would love to say I wish all of you the best, and may God bless you in your coming exams. Thank you so much, and nice time. Where you have challenges, please reach out. Thank you.
Mr. Brian, if you don't mind, would you please give us the closing prayer to this?
Thank you so much, Mr. Marvin. Let's humble ourselves and we pray and we call it a day. Yeah, dear Lord, we would love to thank you for that you have blessed us to be here and to work towards this day. Amidst us, we have a lot of things that are coming up, and we pray that you bless us, gift us, and give us the wisdom as Solomon did ask at one time. We pray that you take us through, and where we have gone wrong, may you guide us to the right decisions. We pray all this through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Yes, I think the session has ended. It was nice having you all. Have a good evening, and I wish you success in your pre-entry. Thank you.
Yes, it has been nice having you all, and may God bless you. May all your ambitions come true and people work hard. I'm right now in my 4th year. I was also like you, but I managed to join Ucu Law School, and you too can make it. May God bless you. Take care.